This double ready. 3, 2, 1. Is Boldcastify, the bold new way to podcast with your host,
Justin, Jason, Clay, and Wayne.
Hey y'all, you're listening to Circle Up Prowl, episode 18. This is, without a doubt, the first Circle Up Prowl done with a winning Jaguars team. This is the first Circle Up Prowl with a Jaguars team over 500.
That is actually true.
It's pretty sadly true.
We have broken ground.
But it's true!
Woo!
Circle up!
So let's recap the game. Where do we start?
10 sacks is where you start.
You start up front.
There you go. He's got a point. That's where you start. 10 sacks.
Football is one in the trenches, says Grandpa Tom.
Well, without any joking, he is absolutely right. And it was evident on Sunday. Because let's be real, both our lines of scrimmage bodied theirs.
Where was this?
It was
all training camp, all preseason.
They were good at hiding the very good facade.
Well, something that Jeff Lagerman said was maybe a lot of the veterans had a case of the veteranitis.
Veteranitis?
Yes, which is we're just going through the
motions.
Yeah, the defensive side of the ball has the bulk of the veterans on it.
Oh yeah,
the most senior veterans.
The most senior veterans on offense, though.
I know.
Yeah.
And this is a positive, Jay, tonight.
You want?
I don't know how I feel about positive J. We got too many positive people.
You want
around.
positive J about Mercedes Lewis? Just watch that GIF of him throwing J.J. Watt into the dirt.
Oh man.
Oh man. But all in all, this game was freaking amazing for any Jaguar fan. It was just like rubbing salt in a wound, or rubbing their face in their receding water out there from the hurricane that they just went through. It was great. Either way.
It was a Cat 5 defense.
Yeah.
Rolling through.
And Houston had no surge warning.
And
The high point.
where it came from is the most exciting part. It's not, I mean, you do have those veterans, but it's all the promise you got from the young guys.
Right.
Had you seen anything from Miles Jack at this point?
Not until that point, no.
Not until he put all of their tight ends in concussion protocol, 14 tackles, a pick 6 that got called back.
Crap.
But, I mean, it was all there. I always pictured him as, like, this coverage guy. I mean, you know, like, usually you're one or the other. You're either a thumper or you're good in coverage. He's really good in coverage. He also can lay the wood in a serious way.
I feel like he's going to live up to what I thought he would be. And that's Derek Brooks. Light. Derek Brooks light.
That's
That's a bold statement, I know.
Well, this is
Hence the name of the brand. But I honestly feel that's what he can be. He showed a glimpse of it. We'll see how it holds out through the season.
all right. Another positive. Wow, I can't believe 2 positives in a row.
We have a few more than that. We'll keep going.
Dante Fowler. Where did that come from?
signs of life from Dante. There's
2
another young
sacks.
guy.
Yeah.
2 sacks.
Signs of life, yeah.
And a pick 6.
Oh, he picked up the fumble, right?
Yeah, he picked the fumble. Oh,
Yeah.
Pick 6. He picked up the fumble.
Picked up the phone, ran it back.
He had as many touchdowns as the Texans.
One player from our defense has as many touchdowns as the referees from the Texans.
Yeah.
What's amazing is going into the game, you would have never anticipated that the Jaguar offensive line would have given up no sacks to the vaunted Texas defense.
Yeah, like I said, you
That
start
is
up
very-
front. If you're going to talk about the positive, you start up front, and that goes for the other side of the ball.
Yes.
They bullied one of the best defensive lines of football, right? Are we
Yeah.
wrong?
I mean, that's what we came into the season knowing.
Me and Jason
We
got
came
an
in-
argument about it.
Yeah, we came into the season with them being a top 5, if not the top defensive line.
I would say top
they got-
5. I would say top 5.
Well, they finished number 1 last year.
They did?
Yeah.
Huh.
And
it should.
arguably, that's where they should be. 2 top 5.
I don't.
They
What
got-
is their? What is their
they
line?
got bodied.
What is their line? First round pick, first round pick, first round pick, some other guy.
Because
Yeah.
It should be good, and it is. I mean,
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, just look how they bullied that below average to average Cincinnati offensive line now, but they still dominated them.
look what it did to Tom Brady in the playoffs last year.
Oh yeah. If they had a competent quarterback, they probably would have had a good chance of winning that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Another positive, late edition or early edition, Calais Campbell.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a big positive. That's probably has a potential to be one of the best free agent acquisitions we've seen in a long time.
It only took 3 years.
Do what?
It only took 3 years for what?
The best free agent addition in about 10 years.
I
mean, something like that.
Is it
Are
the
you
best?
talking about an actual free agent that really done something?
Yes.
Is it the best one that Dave Caldwell signed? I mean, that's pretty
Yes.
easy.
Okay, if you're
That's
going to that
point.
aspect, yeah.
That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah, just Dave's been here since 13, so it kind of threw me off.
But I think he was even impressed that he got 4 sacks himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not.
You're not going to
typical.
get that.
It was even talk that he said he would have signed with the Jaguars 4 or 5 years ago if he realized he'd get 4 sacks a game.
Well, heck, I would have taken him 4 or 5 years ago then too.
Absolutely. And he even makes Malik look better.
Yeah, Malik. His stat line was pretty low, but he even hit the quarterback.
But you could see the push he had with Calais with him.
Constant pressure.
Yes.
Those guys aren't going to
Smothering.
typically be the sack guys. They're going to be
Smothering.
the pressure guys.
Right.
All right, here's another positive. We took another quarterback and put him to bed.
That's a little awkward.
Yeah, just like we did last year, we made the Texans switch quarterbacks mid-game.
Yeah.
But this time, instead of going to Tom Savage, they're going from Tom Savage, so they could officially beat the Browns. Most starting quarterbacks in what, like a 9-year period or something?
Something like that.
Wild.
That's shocking, actually. It's depressing, but shocking.
It's not depressing. It's great.
Well, I'm shocking. I'm
It's
just saying
actually
depressing for any team.
Oh, it's
Fuck
depressing.
me.
If you look at the list of quarterbacks, it's depressing. It's a Brian Hoyer, it's Ryan Mallett,
Ryan
it's
Mallett,
Case
yeah.
Keenum. It's
I mean, you just think of any bench warmer you want to talk of. There they go.
yeah.
My high point, or many high points, as we've already mentioned, coverage sacks.
Yeah.
We
I
started
mean,
seeing those.
there was pressure, like, right at the snap, but you didn't get all 10 sacks from pressure within 2 seconds.
No.
You got AJ
And Jalen making some of those sacks happen.
Yes, they were locking those corners. They were locking it down. They took care of their son.
Yeah.
DeAndre did not have many options.
The best he could do was draw a couple pass interference penalties.
Right.
But
And didn't you love the fact that we finally got a 100-yard running back first game of the season?
Oh yeah, man. How did we not mention rookie Leonard Fournette in his debut, getting a touchdown, over 100 yards?
well, his stat line's not as sexy
No,
because 10 sacks, very sexy. Very, very sexy.
24 receiving.
So it's not as sexy until you like start looking at it. He faced more guys with 8 in the box than any running back by quite a bit.
He did. I forget. There was actually a stat on it earlier in the week. I was actually kind of surprised myself because you guys know me. I don't even really like drafting a running back in the first round because you have guys like Hunt that you draft in like the 4th that somehow managed to do it just as easily. I was very impressed with Fournette. I cannot lie. Even his 3.8 yards a carry, which you'd like to be up a little higher, he was really running. It was the yards that he got, he earned.
There were a lot of after contact yards.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I hadn't seen that in a whole long time.
Yes.
Since 32 was on the field.
And it made what's our other running back's name? Slips my head.
Ivory.
Chris Ivory. It made his 9 carries look a little bit better too.
Absolutely.
It's the first time I've seen.
Much more complimentary.
It's the first time I've seen Ivory in Jacksonville looking to run into somebody. Like,
Yes.
like he had this. Everybody said, he runs so violent, and he would like look for people to just bang into when he was running. And then he got here, and it's
He didn't look the same person.
yeah, he's doing a
He
bunch of
really
stretch plays. He was trying to dance too much. That was the Ivory we wanted when we got him. That was Ivory looking to hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm. And then the biggest surprise of them all, Blake.
We're getting up to 100 passes without an interception in games that matter.
Wow.
An interception, no pick sixes. I can almost deal with interceptions, not the pick
The
sixes.
pick sixes are the killers. Those are always killer.
But you think about something too, guys. When you have a balanced offense, it makes everything more easy for you because for a long time the Jaguars never had no balance. It was strictly pass the ball.
In
That's very
the
true.
amount of attempts they were giving Bortles, like they were asking way too much of Blake Bortles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They were putting way too much on his shoulders.
So
The previous regime was.
he had like 15 less passes than he normally would. It's a massive change.
Definitely. And in his passes, they were very definitive and, I mean, accurate, honestly. I mean, not all of them, but most of them were pretty efficient.
He had one Blake pass.
Yeah.
Where you're like, what are you doing?
Right.
But, got through it unscathed. And what's so worrisome with him is that it always is in the red zone. That's where those passes are really happening the most.
I think we talked in the past about. I think that's really the point where, like you said, it's red zone, and that's where he locks on the receiver, and there's not a lot of space. You know what I'm saying for the receiver to get away. So the corner's already got a beat on it.
Right, exactly. Stat line, pretty much even for the most part in a number of categories. Yards, 280 to the Texans, 203. Time of possession was actually very close, so only 10 minutes off.
Sure didn't feel like it.
No, it really doesn't.
It felt like 2006, 2007 Jaguars football, where they just get a small lead and just sit on the ball for the rest of the game. That's what it felt like.
And you wouldn't imagine, but the Texans actually had more first downs. But it just didn't feel like that with the way the momentum was going, the way the game was progressing. The Jaguars definitely controlled the ball.
But wasn't that they're going to pass to the fullback, a sweet play?
Yeah, that was fantastic. Pulled the ball in.
Oh, wait a minute. We haven't had a fullback in a few seasons, though, have we?
Imagine what a fullback can do for your team. But Houston had 4 turnovers.
And this is a team that just
Should have had 5, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't one called
Yeah,
back?
one was called back.
one was called back. This is a team that just couldn't make a play on the ball last year.
Nope.
God dang, Unique. Unique got 2 different strip sacks.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked to see what Unique can do this year. I don't expect them to do what they did against Houston this week. You're not going to see the sacks like
No.
you did. You're going up against 2 very good tackles. And that's going to make things
It's going to make
more
things much
difficult for
different.
that.
Because, of course, Houston was
Yes.
missing Brown.
Their
Or
starter.
Dwayne Brown or whatever.
Yeah, they were missing their starting left tackle on top of having a not great line already.
Right.
Which is crazy when you think about it. This guy's giving up game checks for not getting a contract. But
He's
hey,
giving up game checks for a much bigger game check.
Right.
The longer they drag this out, the more apparent it is they need him.
Pretty much.
true.
So, don't see a lot of holdouts like this anymore.
No, you really don't. Not especially now the way things are structured nowadays.
And I do think it's kind of dumb because he's got 2 years left on his contract, but I hope he does it all year.
I am perfectly fine with him holding out. He can keep on going.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that line is abysmal.
Yeah.
Deshaun just makes it look a little less abysmal because of his mobility. But not by much.
No, they look terrible tonight.
Somehow they squeezed one out against Cincinnati.
Yeah, but they ain't going to win a lot of games
No,
the way they're playing right now.
No, not in their current form. And God, you gotta hope that Will Fuller can shake something to open up a little something for them, or else it's gonna be a rough year.
Gonna have to magically fix that collarbone.
Yeah. Squeeze that sucker back into place. Well, sucks to suck, as you would so happily put it, Jason.
Yep, sucks to suck.
Well, let's take a look around the AFC South real quick, since we're already on it. We're talking about teams and all this good stuff. Well, obviously, Houston didn't fare too well in Week 1. I already know how they did. The Colts, they took their first trip to Los Angeles in at least 20 years. I don't know how long. But,
Man, the 49ers really put a beating on him, says Chuck Pagano.
is that what he said?
Yes. In his press conference, after getting wailed on by the Rams, he talked about how the 49ers really beat their ass.
Man, he's already getting ready for the game whenever they play. At least he's cowing down to it. He's preparing himself mentally. But for anyone that doesn't know,
Does anybody know when Luck's going to come back?
that's still to be determined because he did not start on the PUP list. but he is not playing right now. And Scott Tolzien started for the Colts, and he was abysmal.
And they're already
Incompletion,
talking about playing Jacoby Brissett,
which
his first week there.
yeah, which you knew that was going to be the case. Well, they couldn't play him immediately because he only had 4 practices in. So he'll probably play his second week or going into the second week because Tolzien barely got over 100 yards, but just did not look good. Did not look competent. Got a lot of sacks. Jared Goff only had 8 incompletions, threw over 300 yards for the Rams, and the Rams blew the doors off the Colts 46-9.
That's a win.
So definitely not the Colts teams we're used to seeing in recent years.
Oh, I don't know if there's a question about it. They're the worst team in the NFL without Andrew Luck.
Right now, it's kind of apparent, or at least it appears to be that way, because it's not looking good for them. Because the Browns actually looked competitive the other day.
Yep.
Then we take it to Nashville.
Yes, that was a very odd game. What self-respecting head coach comes out, not at halftime,
Opening day, first play of the game, and kicks an onside kick. One coach,
I think you're overthinking it a little bit.
Mike Mularkey.
Why are you? Why are you trying to get cute?
Yeah.
Just line up and play if you have confidence in what you got. It was weird.
it was definitely ballsy.
It was definitely ballsy.
How did it work, though? They would have probably been praising him.
Oh, yeah, they definitely praised him.
So it was like...
That's how bad calls go. If it works out, then everybody thinks it's great.
That's
Yeah.
usually how it goes. I mean, if
So-
the onside kick in the second half for the Saints in their Super Bowl would have went haywire, they would have been crucifying Peyton. But instead, it worked perfectly.
And now he's...
He's a world champion,
Yeah, that's one of them plays that's damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know what I mean?
essentially.
Well, just don't.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
don't.
just don't. In this case, definitely don't.
Don't start your season that
Not
way.
week
No.
one. That's how you just start your weekend.
But-
shit.
And then, of course, you have the Jaguars versus the Texans, which we knew.
Yes, we already know that score. We already know that outcome. But the Raiders end up, they were pretty much close in the first half right, with each other. And then the Raiders kind of took it away from the Titans. In the
Yeah, if you look at the
second
stat
half.
line, it's a fairly close game
It
the
is.
whole way through, but they couldn't make it happen in the red zone.
Both quarterbacks making the first game back since they both broke their fibula on the same day.
That's
And
ironic, isn't it?
That's
Oh, that's
very weird. That is weird. But somehow Tennessee just did not look very good with Murray rushing for 44 yards and I don't even know how
And Derrick
much.
Henry's still not getting touches.
Yeah, Derrick Henry did not have any touches because Murray only had 12 carries.
add them up, less than 100 yards between these two vaunted best running backs in the NFL, such and blah, blah, blah.
Marshawn Lynch had 76 and he missed a year.
Like, why are you making your whole identity exotic smash mouth? We run the ball, blah 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 blah, and then you don't run the ball. Your home opener against a team that's it's not the toughest defense.
No. I mean, their offense is really good. I'll give it to them. Their offense is pretty good.
That was in Oakland, wasn't it?
No, that was in
That was in
Tennessee. That was in
Tennessee?
Nashville.
It was in Nashville.
Wow.
I mean, I'll give it to them. Their offense is pretty good, but their defense is nothing to really write home about. They've got one player, maybe two.
I'll say this about Tennessee: they got a really talented roster,
Yeah,
but luckily they've got a bad coaching set. We got a bad head coach.
yeah.
Because that whole game, it's just like, why are you overthinking this?
Well,
Really overthinking it.
well,
Well, I hope that they keep up their...
can't we understand that method? Well, at least we
No,
used to have that method
just-
of bad coaching.
Oh, bad coaching. I thought you were saying overthinking. We definitely
Oh, yeah.
do not have an overthinking
No,
problem.
no, we don't. But I see what you're saying. We did have that coach at one time for 1 year, which we don't like to think about. Or
For 1 year, we had it for 4.
Well,
Crap,
that too, yeah.
garbage.
And on a sadder note, I'm really sorry that we lost Allen Robinson for the year.
That is a very upsetting note when you look back on it. No,
But-
something else.
But I feel like...
And he went on, what was it, the fourth play of the game?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much untouched.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it could possibly be a blessing in disguise. So I'm going to wrap this pile of crap and say we get him for his 5th year because we're going to franchise him. so we don't lose.
I think franchise is a win for everybody involved.
Yeah.
For the most part,
happy.
Yeah.
He'll be happy. It's a prove-it contract, which is
Right.
kind of what you'd want to sign him to anyways.
Yeah, and it's not like a bag of chips and a flat soda. It's just going to put it in contract.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's the top 5 of the.
Yes.
The
It's averaged
highest
out
paid.
between the
They'll
top
get
five.
paid
Yes.
top 5 to prove that he's worth it, and then get paid even more probably.
When he probably proves it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not usually a bad deal.
But yes,
I would be fine with it.
But yes, it was a really sucky situation, and all these talkers are talking heads about, oh, we should try to trade Alan Hearns. Where are they?
You haven't really heard too much of that, have you? Since the injury.
Yeah, it's convenient.
So, now we move on. Now we're here back at Everbank.
To face another
Yes.
division,
Another
opponent.
division rival, Tennessee. They come to town.
That's pretty brutal to have 2 back-to-back division games
That is rough.
against the only 2 real teams in the division.
Yeah. That would be something they would give us. And probably our 2 biggest rivals, honestly.
And we almost lost it. We almost lost our home game. We wouldn't have had a game in Jacksonville until October, right?
Yeah. I would have been so pissed. And for anyone that doesn't know, they were talking about possibly relocating the first home game because of the effects of Hurricane Irma. But hey, luckily NFL officials came down and checked out Everbank Field and said it was A-okay.
Well, it should have been okay after about 4 or 5 years ago when they put the new drainage
Right.
in there. So
Yeah, it's just as long as they could get power on, the field was going to be fine.
yeah,
I hear that there's some damage to the video board, but
I've heard that too.
whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
there was some damage.
Yes, there was some damage to the video board and supposedly some damage to the Daly's Place. But that goes to the canopy and stuff that they can repair, and that's fine.
Yeah, don't care. Just give me my game.
Yeah, that
Who
exactly.
wants a damn home game loss when we only got 2 anyway?
Yeah.
First half of the season.
Right.
3, but you don't count really the London game. It says it's in London. So.
Right. Yeah, I definitely want what we got here, and especially a game of this magnitude. This is, I mean, let's be honest, folks. This is probably one of the most pivotal games that we will see at Everbank.
It's
10
been a long
years
time.
almost,
It's been a while since it's mattered.
to this degree. And sadly, I'm saying this starting 1-0. After seeing the dominating performance this team put off in Houston.
This will definitely set a tone.
And especially coming off the effects that the storm did here in Jacksonville. It's going to be kind of a rallying point.
Get away from that emotional stuff.
I'm just being honest.
Well, it obviously didn't work out there in
It didn't.
Texas. So I don't want to talk about that.
No, J.J. Watt was waving that flag very passionately.
Yes,
He was.
and I guess for
And registered 1 tackle.
yeah. So I don't like looking at that kind of stuff. I like getting down, getting physical, and putting in some work. Because
I agree.
I
But
understand what you're saying, but they're gonna have that rallying call because of what the city
are.
the city took a blow. Just
Oh,
like
we'll be louder than
Yeah.
normal.
yeah,
because they even talked about it after the game.
We
They
will.
talked about it after the last game.
Yeah, we will be louder than normal, but I'm just saying because obviously that didn't do crap out there. I don't want to even compare it. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about getting sacks, getting touchdowns, and winning.
And the good news is I don't think it's going to affect our players as much because
No.
after they just destroyed the Texans, they were talking about getting ready for Tennessee like almost immediately. Like
Right.
they're-
Well, that's the thing they have about the coaching staff. So
That's,
that kind of
that's
helps.
when you have a competent coaching staff, it can really make
and
a
they
difference.
have last year at the end of the season to look upon too.
Yes. Already annihilated this team once recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And as long as they keep that quarterback in check, don't let him run around friggin' and scramble around and make plays.
Right. You
Deshaun
got to definitely
Watson-
got to contain him.
Deshaun
Exactly.
Watson's good practice.
Yeah, it is actually.
Marcus Mariota is kind of like if Deshaun Watson was good, and so you've got to watch out for that.
Yeah, a little bit.
If Deshaun Watson could pass, that's Marcus Mariota.
It's kind of fair.
Yeah.
So
But you you have a little bit more of a challenge here than you definitely had with Houston. Or
Yeah,
at least from what it
they're-
appears.
they're coming in with like they're coming in fairly healthy, minus their free agent addition.
How much of a difference is it between the roster that we saw last year versus the roster we're seeing this year?
I know-
Receiver position is highly upgraded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the receiver position is highly upgraded. I know they added another D tackle or D end. I'm not sure.
They
So,
desperately attempt to fix their secondary, and it looks like it hasn't worked so far.
Doesn't appear to. Especially with that guy they got from somewhere. What was it? Cyprian. Yeah, he doesn't appear to be playing this game.
Such a bummer.
Yeah,
not playing.
No.
because we could have used our tight end that catches the football, O'Shaq Hennessy, over the middle. We might.
It
Still
doesn't
do
matter who you put out there. He's going to end up in coverage, and it's going to go badly. Like, it's
Well-
not necessarily going to be on a tight end. It's going to be on a receiver, and it's going to be hilarious.
Well, let's let O'Shaq Hennessy get out there and wreak some havoc on this. Not who's the backup? Who even cares? Because obviously, if he's got the
he's
start,
going to be better in pass coverage.
oh, don't
Probably
say that.
so.
But he's probably not going to be as good in run coverage.
Yeah.
So it's a positive either way.
Less room to make bad angles on run coverage. That's why Cyprian was so good in run coverage. And he won't be out there for that. So he'll have to wait until next time to know what it's like to see Fournette. Man, it was so good to watch Fournette just run over all those Texans.
That was glorious. I
Just
want to see that this
trucking
week.
people.
See it at home. See him truck over all those little
And
blue
that's
bastards.
something that gives light to the subject too. Is I know Tennessee's probably a little bit more balanced than Houston,
Right.
but do you really think Tennessee's defense was what Houston's defense was?
That's true.
I really don't. They did have the number 2 run defense in the NFL last year.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And they got Jarrell Casey.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can figure out a way to run it up the gut with Jarrell Casey right there, you're going to win the game.
Yeah.
That's a really tall order, though. Jarrell Casey's one of those guys. Just
They do have some talent.
causing problems for the Jaguars for years.
Oh yeah. That's forever. Like Delaney Walker now.
Like Delaney Walker.
But I will say they definitely have some talent. But that's a very valid point there, W. He definitely has. The defense is definitely not as pertinent as what we've seen in Houston in recent years. But if we could, if what we've seen in this defense that we've got now that can contain the two-headed running game,
Yeah,
that's
So, yeah, receivers a big upgrade for them.
Yeah.
keep them one-dimensional.
Yep.
As far as us, how different is this team roster-wise than the one that saw this Titans team last year?
I'd say it's definitely different.
There's a big difference in that game where we housed the Titans.
Yeah.
There's a guy who got 157 yards receiving, and he's not there this time. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have somebody in the receiving corps step up big, because that is their weakest spot on defense. You have to be able to take advantage of their pass coverage.
Who steps up?
That's a good question.
Well, I was listening to Jaguars today earlier, and they were talking about Allen Hurns is a between the hashes kind of guy. Marquise Lee's the one that's got to step up. He's got to A, be the second round pick that he's brought in as,
Yeah.
and B, he wants to earn a dang contract just as well as Allen Robinson does.
He has to finally become that deep threat that everybody thought he was going to be when we drafted him.
Right.
He really hasn't been.
He's got to step up and be that 1A or whatever the hell.
Yeah. 1A,
It's time for him to step up and be the baller.
I've seen him do it.
Yeah.
I've seen him run
You
past
see
the
glimpses.
coverage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he looked finally being healthy. He looked pretty good last year,
Right.
but
it was
his star's got to shine now because Allen Robinson's done for the year.
It's
Right.
just
He's got to be consistent.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's just his inconsistency last year. You know, some games he was over 100 yards, some games he was like 52 yards. And I know a lot of that is playing on quarterback play and whatnot, but I mean, a lot of that is getting separation, you know?
Maybe we could throw a little Keenan Cole at him.
Okay, there you go. That's another one. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That was well said.
So, Keenan Cole, like him.
I like him a lot.
How many more chances does he get before he starts riding the pine pony? By the pine pony, I mean hitting the.
How many targets did he even have?
He didn't have the minute.
They had 2.
One of them was broken up. The other one was a drop, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, that's not.
And supposedly, the one that was broken up, he could have still fought for it.
No, we
And-
watched that one. It was just great defense.
Yeah, we watched it. I kind of err on the side of Justin. I think it was 1-1, but those two passes that were passed to him were very integral passes. I think both of them were on third down. That's the
Why
problem.
are they going to Keelan Cole on third down?
That is interesting. I didn't really notice that.
But
It's not really a choice I would make on third down. Hernsey would be my guy on third down.
Hernsey's my guy on third down.
Yeah.
but how many more chances does he get? You know,
Right now, he's still got a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talented enough. He's got a few.
He's going to get a whole lot more chances because
We're
they
in
don't
game
have
two. We're in week
they
two.
don't have the options they were
Well,
going to have because
no.
they stashed them all away. We joked about it last week.
Well, not necessarily. There was a guy that caught a touchdown against the Bears last year.
You're talking about Aurelius.
Yes,
I think Keelan's going to get more looks than Aurelius
you really do.
because his hands are better.
I mean, what are you expecting Aurelius to become a pretty good receiver
Well, no.
after being on the practice squad?
I mean, he's a big receiver and
After
all
being
that,
a special
but he's been in the
teamer
league
for-
4 years.
Yeah,
5
and I mean,
years.
like if
Well, he wasn't. I'm not saying he's underutilized, but he is a little. The reason he's been a special teamer is because they don't really trust him enough to bring him up the depth chart.
yeah, it's Kasim Osgood. He's what Kasim Osgood was on this team way back when.
They
where
live him on special teams.
He's got the worst. Like his hands are not very good at
No.
all. But he's so good instincts wise on kick coverage
And
that
since
he's
he had
gonna
the knee
hold him
injury,
spot.
it's not the same.
Well, so the guys in Jaguars today were saying that's their guy that they're expecting to make the jump before I guess D.D. Westbrook gets back, and I kind of like that.
I mean,
I kind of like that guy. I mean, I'm kind of an underdog guy,
Oh, Aurelius was my dude last year. Remember, he was my training camp
Yeah.
guy.
and
It was. I remember that actually.
yeah,
For
me
sure.
too. And I was being a hater last year on him, but
Won us the Bears game.
yes, he did.
I mean, maybe he could, maybe he can make some change. But my thing is, if he's been a special teamer this entire time for 6 years,
Well,
7 years,
he,
Five, 6 years.
he hasn't played 6 years. He's been in the league for 6 years. He's played,
he was a second round pick with Tampa.
Yeah.
yeah, but he broke his leg.
Yeah, but he still was a second round pick and still played a good portion with Tampa.
Yeah.
They gave him opportunities
Yeah.
before they relegated him to the bench.
Yeah,
That's true.
He really didn't get a lot of. He didn't really get to make the most of those chances because he was hurt.
That's kind of my
I
point.
understand that, but I mean, they gave him the chances they
He
could.
was there for less than 2 years.
But now that he's healthy, he still has hands being the biggest problem.
Right.
If that's your biggest problem, you're not going to see as much time on the field as a wide receiver.
Yeah. That's what a wide receiver's job is, to catch the ball. If you drop too many times, you
It's
won't be a wide
pretty
receiver.
big.
It is an important factor.
I'm going with Hernsey. Hernsey's going to be the guy that steps up.
I like Hernsey.
As long as he doesn't end up getting his bell rung and stays out of concussions, because, I mean, health-wise, this is the healthiest Hearns has been
I'll go in a minute.
since his rookie year, maybe.
That's the big on thing. Like you got to worry about is that he has had the numerous concussions.
Yeah.
Concussions is it, though. Like, everything
Yeah.
else will play through.
Yeah, good. But I am stoked when Dede comes back because he really looked very impressive in preseason.
Yes, he did. He looked really impressive.
Yeah,
I'm
he's preseason king.
Yeah. I mean, he led the whole league.
So we gotta wait 6 weeks till we can come back.
Yeah.
I think something like that.
We had to go stash Shane Wynn. Because he'd be on the active roster right now.
Do you think we go pick someone up off the waiver wire?
We did.
Now what?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know we picked some small guy,
Yeah,
but that was
Christian
on
McCaffrey's
practice squad.
brother.
Yeah.
Did he put Shane
yeah,
on the
he's-
prep
yeah,
on
we
the
picked-
IR too?
IR.
Yeah, we picked up Christian McCaffrey's brother from. He's just this is his second year, I guess. First year, I'm not sure. I think he's in a first or second year. He was on the Saints practice squad. He is tall. I want to say he's like 6'3". So, I guess they're kind of hedging their bets because I know Big Cat Country did like this article about 5 or 6 wide receivers that we should look at. I was like, none of them really,
It's kind of more the direction I was kind of going, but man.
Victor Cruz.
Yeah.
No.
You want to know salsa dancing?
No.
VJax.
No VJax?
No.
You don't like VJax?
Although Tampa was even talking about bringing him back, I guess for cheaper amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, VJax, he was still pretty good.
I'd have a contingency plan because I don't think Deshaun Jackson's going to make it all year. But that's just me.
I mean, it's a good possibility.
Yeah.
You probably won't. All right, folks. I guess I should wrap it up for this time. We'll be back next week to hopefully talk about the 2-0 Jacksonville Jaguars, but we will see.
What do you think happens, though?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already know what I think is going to happen.
We never said our thoughts, but
I didn't know I had to say it.
well, we always do.
You don't have to say it.
Oh, I didn't know I had to. It was 24-17. Jaguars win.
24-17, good guys.
I was going to go for a lower score than that. I like his 24. I think I'll stick with that. But I'm thinking like 24-9.
I think that's too high of a score.
Wow.
It kind of is.
I think the max you're going to see is 17.
No, bro. We're getting...
You're going to see an ugly 17-14 game.
Bro, Mariota's going to throw an INT. Whether it's a pick six, I don't freaking know. Don't really
think
care.
he doesn't do.
He's
He
going
really
to
doesn't do
He's
it.
going to do it on Sunday. And that's a lock, folks.
That's a lot. Oh, man, you got a lot from him.
Wow.
You got a lot from Jason. You got a pick six coming from Marcus
No, I
Mariota.
didn't say a pick. I didn't say a pick six. I said a pick.
I thought you got a pick six.
I think you got a much better chance of
I said I don't know if it's going to be a pick six, but it's going to be a pick.
All right.
of that D line making more fumbles. But
Okay, whatever. That's all we need. And that's going to happen. He's at least going to screw up at least once. Because with those kind of corners and that kind of shaking at the line, it's going to strike fear into the opposing offense.
you shut down the run and you run the ball on
I
them.
like it. That's confidence.
You shut down the run and you run the ball on them, you're going to win.
Yep.
That's this game for sure. Because Marcus Mariota, very good, very efficient quarterback. If they get down, he's not going to be able to pull them back up by himself.
No.
I like it.
What is your average where you see this offense scoring?
The average?
It's got to be more than 21 points, or else I don't think we can sustain it because that's like the average. That's like
Our average, I believe, is going to be somewhere between 16 to 20.
Yeah. I
Well-
mean, look at all the opportunities they got in week one.
And they didn't capitalize.
They didn't capitalize on them. And they got a very erratic kicker.
Yeah.
that's
That takes a lot of
point
points
average.
away. I mean, I should have probably went 23, honestly. 23-17.
that saddens me a little bit because
Yeah, scratch that. I'm going 23-17. Take 1 point out.
That saddens me a little bit because
Then we're going to miss a field extra point.
because the average team that makes it into playoffs has to score at least 21 points. Oh man.
We are getting
Jason's
ahead of
overpressed
ourselves.
now.
We are getting ahead of ourselves in a real major way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's still only week 2, but hell,
If it happens this week, though, I'm a full unbeliever.
Oh, now I'm withholding all my emotions, but if it does happen this week, oh
Well,
god,
let me ask y'all a hypothetical question.
I'm all
it's
over
probably
it.
not going to happen, but what would y'all do, man, if they won 37-7 and had 7 sacks?
This is going to be the most obnoxious podcast you could listen to.
you probably wouldn't listen to this. I could see Justin streaking to the stadium.
All that backhanded shit I was just doing about Deshaun Watson, I'm just be doing that about every player
Yeah,
in our division.
we're gonna be
Okay.
so salty.
all right.
You and I are gonna be so salty going to New York.
Reason I had to throw that out there because that would give 17 sacks in 2 games your favorite number.
That is true.
So, before we wrap this son of a gun up, put a bow on it, I do have a question. Do you think that we can stop those 2 running backs? Because the Raiders did it without pretty much anyone in the defense. I can only name like one. I can name 2 players, and one
I can
has been.
name an edge rusher
that is a star on that team.
And an old ass former Jaguar,
Khalif Barnes.
Reggie
yeah.
Nelson.
Khalif Barnes was out there for a long time.
Yeah, Reggie Nelson's on the defense.
Yeah, he's in the backfield.
Wow, that's a shame.
He's not why Murray and Henry couldn't run the ball. I think yes,
Makes sense though.
but you have to be able to take advantage on offense because then you force them to get away from it.
Absolutely.
If you can shut them down and then score, and then shut them down and score, that puts them in a predicament. They have to get away from running the ball. If they get away from that, they get away from what they do, then they're done.
That's awesome.
So that's the key.
I honestly have to agree. I mean, it's you get them out of their comfort zone.
You can't just shut down their run, though. You've got to take advantage of it when you do.
Oh, yes. It'd be lovely. And if we win the kickoff and we defer, we kick it to them and they fumble the friggin' kickoff and we score right off the bat and get the crowd going.
Oh yeah.
If the crowd wasn't going already, they would definitely be going.
Maybe we win the coin toss, we defer, and then we do an onside kick.
That could actually happen.
Is that
We
bad?
got all kinds of jokes right here. Oh my lord!
So
People, we're just overzealous right now. I mean, we haven't seen the Jaguars 1-0 in 6 years.
It's been since 2011. It will, if they win on Sunday, it'll be the first time since 2006 that they started out 2-0.
over 10 years ago.
And I remember I used to write on my parents' refrigerator consecutive years in a row when the Jaguars would start off 2-0, and then the following year they'd be 3-0, and the following year they'd be 4-0, and finally 5-0. And I think it was even further than that because they'd always progressively get better. Yeah, those were the days, the 90s.
So
Life has changed.
So let's wrap this thing up. ODW, what's your prediction?
What, the score-wise?
Yeah.
I just said it, 37-7, 7 sacks.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. I've heard one. Wow.
And Justin, did you say yours
I
yet?
said 17-13.
Yeah, and I'm going with 23-17.
I guess I'll stay.
We split this series for 8 years now.
That's something else I was going to say. We've always split a series.
I don't want to split it anymore. I'm tired.
No, I'm done with sharing.
Yes, me too.
I want to see a
You're
sweep.
not sharing? No more sharing?
Please win Sunday so I know it's real.
Coughlin wants revenge. He hates Tennessee.
Yes. I concur. We all hate Tennessee.
I'm putting the rub on the pork shoulder tonight. I'm gonna be letting it sit. I'm gonna be smoking it Saturday. I'll see y'all at the tailgate.
Circle ups are going all day.
It's gonna be wild.
Whew. Who's going to pass it out first? Who's on the puke board first? That's the question.
I am coming prepared.
Yeah, hopefully it's not you, and hopefully it's not you, W. Also, guys, quick reminder. Be sure to check out our Any Given Friday segment. We'll be going to one high school game every week, checking out big matchups in the area. This week, it's Bulls Trinity, the long-awaited matchup. It's going to be pumped, going to be hyped. Can't wait to see it. We're going to be sure to do a little bit of play-by-play on the Twitter so you can have some updates, kind of like we did with the Lee Reigns game. Also, we're going to have video and everything uploaded on both the Twitter and Instagram for Bullcast at 5 Sports. So be sure to check that out. And we want to make this a weekly thing. So we'll definitely be picking like a game of the week and hitting that place up because we have great area high school action. So definitely be sure to follow along. All right. With that being said, folks, we're out.
The last thing I told this team was, hey, there's two names you play for. You play for the name on your back, and then when you look around, we all play for one name. What's their name? Jaguars! What's their name? Jaguars! Here we go, baby!
If this is your first time listening, then thanks for stopping by. This has been a Boldcastify production and is produced just for the people of Duval and beyond. Also, show notes and upload dates are found at boldcastify.com. Come back often and feel free to add the podcast to your favorites on Spreaker, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and Snapchat at BoldCastify. All links are on social media. Think bold. Speak bold. Live bold. BoldCastify.